I'm going to try this one more time. Everybody stand, but don't leave. Everybody stand up. All right. So, by way of sitting down, if you are currently not marketing, please have a seat. If you are currently doing any type of advertising, any type of marketing, have a seat. Awesome. If you are doing marketing, stay up, stand up. If you're currently doing marketing. Sorry. Apparently I'm having a morning. Okay, so everybody standing currently is doing some form of marketing. Some form. Awesome. Okay, so if you are monitoring your marketing, meaning you have some type of tracking mechanism, you have some way to verify what's going on with your leads, stay standing. If you are not monitoring, sit down. Awesome. Okay. Of you that are still standing, congratulations. You are clearly an exception to the rule. Clearly. Don't sit. There's opportunity here, I promise. So if you are monitoring and you're tracking, how many of you know what your cost per lead by ad source is? So you can adamantly say, I spent $2,000 and it cost me $50 a lead, or I spent X. So you know how much your cost per lead is. If you know what your cost per lead is, stay standing. If you don't, have a seat. Congratulations. Everybody around the room, look at these guys, because these guys are the ones that are next level marketing people. They're the ones that have made this. Stay standing, please. All right, now out of you guys, how many of you have green cash in your pocket? And I mean green cash. If you have green cash, stay standing. If you don't, have a seat. Yeah, I'm like green cash. If you have green cash, stay standing. Okay, awesome. So there's a point to this. There is, I promise. Now, out of you that are remaining standing, by the way, it would put me out too, because I never carry cash. I'm a card person. If you have cash, think before you answer. If I were to say, give me $10 and I'll give you 20, who would take the deal? Awesome. Who has $10 in their pocket? It's yours. 10 for 20. Look. This for 20.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
I don't think I have. Let's see it.
Right. There you go. 10 for 20. That, my friend, is how marketing works. And that is what you call when preparedness meets opportunity. It's success. Pure out successfulness. So it comes down to how to be prepared and how to be ready for when opportunity knocks at your doors. And we'll get into all of this metering and measuring at the very end. But he's not lucky. It's not by choice or not by accident that he's in this class. It's not by accident that he's monitoring his marketing. It's not by accident that he understands how much that marketing costs him. And it's not by accident that he has cash in his pocket. It would be total accident for me, but it's not accident, it's opportunity. He is successful because he was prepared and was able to capitalize on those pieces of opportunity. And with this online marketing, that's what you have. You have the opportunity to move into next level business, to take your business to the next level, to grow, to scale, to learn how to generate replicatable success. And when you get that replicatable success, your business grows to the next level. But I'm going to take you all the way back to the very beginning, and it starts with your keyword. Now, when you went into business, you probably went, what am I going to be? And then you put a label to what you wanted to be. You went, I guess I'm going to be a plumber. I guess I'm going to be an accountant. I guess I'm going to be a doctor. You put a label to it, right? So it's the same thing with your marketing. It starts with your keyword. When you take your keyword and you give it meaning, you build your marketing structure around it. And not all keywords are created equal. And the reason they're not created equal is because some have higher value in that there's more search volume that happens for it. And I'll give you an example with Sugarland Plumber versus plumbing company Sugarland. Your results is going to be different. Google understands that, and they monetize each individual keyword differently. All right, so anyway, Google monetizes those keywords differently. So you may pay $10 cost per click for one keyword, and you may take $5 cost per click for a keyword that is smaller and less valuable. And so when it comes to understanding your marketing overall and your marketing online, it starts with the keyword and being purposeful and intentional about choosing what that keyword is. And when you're purposeful and intentional and you gear all your marketing to it, you'll start seeing monumental success in your marketing. So if it's really as simple as a keyword, picking what your keyword is, why is this internet thing so crazy? How is it that the insanity feels so overwhelming and so consuming? And the reason it feels so overwhelming and consuming is because of the age difference. We call it the age rage. And the age rage is if you're 40 plus, you probably grew up thinking like this. Very linearly. When you flip a page to the book, you go one section to the next section. If you grew up 40 to, say, age 30, you probably grew up like this. You had pagers, you had, hello, it's AOL, you had that, and all the way to now laptops are everywhere, and you see they make 30-year-olds make connection points differently than somebody in their 40s because they can take and understand that those websites come in different entry points. And then, of course, if you're 20, you're trained to do this. You're really not doing this, and you're really not doing this. You're pretty much only doing this, which is what he's talking about with the mobile. So then the only thing that's changed is, well, everything, in the words of the Apple CEO. Everything has changed for you as a marketer, for you understanding how to grow your business and how to take your business to the next level. So you start with your perfect plan. You go, this is what I'm going to do, this is my perfect plan, and then all of a sudden you have traditional media, you have online media, and all of a sudden there's a collision between the two, and you're in the middle going, what is it that I have to do, how is it that I have to do it? Out of you that are marketing, how many of you engaged in yellow pages, billboards, advertising, TV, flyers, direct mail, door hangers, all at one time? How many of you did all of it at one time? Exactly. Nobody. But here's what happens in the online world. Because we've bought into the marketing of Windows and Apple and IBM from the 80s of it's simple, anybody can do it. We've bought into that marketing. We understand that things aren't permanent, so we think, on the internet. So we think it's easy, it's instantaneous. Because your 9-year-old can do it, it's automatic. But in the world of online marketing, the industry is very different. And so what I hope to do for you today is answer some of the questions that we were hearing in that, one, you understand the ecosystem of the internet and what makes the internet work for online marketing. It starts with websites. You have responsive sites, you have desktops, you have mobile, you have apps. So in the world of these areas, you have freelancers calling you, you have boutiques calling you, you have agencies like ours calling you, you have big boiler rooms like Yext or the Houston Chronicle or Haibu, or there's a million of them, and you're getting called from every single one, and every single one of them is calling you with the hot button, the internet hot button of the year. So if you look back at how to be found on page 1, you'll see every year there's a hot button. Google writes an algorithm to prevent that hot button. So when you're looking at the internet in terms of marketing and what to do in terms of marketing, you see you have website as a product. You'll see you have profiles as a product. So not only do you have all these people calling you going, hey, here's the hot button that you need to talk about, but as an industry, we don't even label them the same thing. So in the world of profiles as a product, you have Google My Business, backlinks, data aggregators, but you won't hear profiles called profiles. You'll hear them called citations or backlinks. So you're getting all this information coming in at you from all these different sources, and it's confusing because nobody speaks the same language. So search engine optimization, you have code, you have backlinks, you have referrals and reviews. There's probably 1,000 different things that are documented that you can do for SEO. And by the way, we don't even call SEO SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. It's organic. It's page one. No wonder you're confused. There's 1,000,001 people calling you and telling you all of these different things and that you must be doing it as a business owner. Pay-per-click, we just talked a lot about that with Google. But you just can't get pay-per-click through Google. You can get it through Bing. You can get it through Yahoo. You can now do pay-per-click through social media. You can do it through Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat. You can do lead generation sites like Angie's List and the BBB and Thumbtack. There's 1,000,000 places to do advertising. You didn't do all of that advertising online traditionally. So take a step back. Take a breath. I'm giving you permission. Stop the noise. You don't have to do it all at once. You pick one of these products and you become a hero in that product. And when you finish that product, then you move to the next one. And these are just more products. The last one that I'll talk about is email marketing. It doesn't really fall in, it falls in my big six. It doesn't really fall in the wheelhouse of the internet product cycle. The reason I bring up the big six is because all of this comes down to that search word that we talked about earlier, the keyword that we talked about earlier. When somebody types in that search word, they're generating a search result. And in that search result, 6 things typically happen on a search result page. There's 6 different products that will normally appear. So if I type in Sugarland Plumber is my search phrase, you might have paid ads. If you see the yellow on the top are paid ads and on the right side, did anybody notice search results changed last week? So this slide is now outdated. Did anybody notice if you do a search, there's no longer ads on the right side of your desktop? Yeah, that happened last week. And the reason that happened is because Google is so committed to going responsive and mobile that they are eliminating revenue. So they have taken their own site to work better, easier, faster for a responsive environment. So going back to the products that will show up or can show up, it doesn't mean that it doesn't necessarily show up. Any search result could generate any one. I'm only talking about 6 products today. There's probably about 30 real products that exist out there. These are the top 6. But out of those 30, you could get any of those 30s on a search result page. These are the ones you typically find on a search result page. You typically will find paid ads, the map section. If you see it used to be called Google, it used to be called Maps. It used to be called Google Plus, and now it's called Google My Business. They've changed that name probably 4 times in the last 3 years. You also will find reviews. If you see number 4, that is a review. Then you'll see SEO or search engine optimization or the organic listing as number 5, and you'll see the bullet point number 5 on the screen capture. And then citations, which are also called profiles or backlinks or anything else you want to maybe call them. There's probably 7 names for that particular industry, that product type. So while I give you permission to say, cut the noise, cut the clutter, you don't have to do all 6 of these strategies at one time, If you look at this specific example, for the search phrase Sugarland Plumber, what you'll see is he is capitalized on 5 of the 20 locations or 20 pieces of inventory on that search result page. So who wins in the competitive marketplace? Sugarland Plumbing does, or S&B Plumbing does. He wins in that marketplace because he has the budget to be able to capitalize on all 6 of those product lines. He only shows up for 5, but he has just knocked out 5 other competitors that his consumer could do business with. So the second thing it does for him is it gives him immediate credibility. It gives him the ability to be found in multiple places. In the consumer's mind, it gives him the ability to be the winner because he's been found so many times. He must be a good business. So he didn't start there. He started very basic, and then he grew as he became a hero in each product cycle. So you now know that keyword is the basis, that you must figure out the profitable keyword, the keyword that has the search result, the keyword that is right for you, the keyword that's going to make you money and that you can build your marketing program around. The next question is, how do I do that? That's where we go through the decision tree. And this is not the only way to make decisions. There's multiple ways to make decisions. This is just a way that we have found that's worked over the past 20 years for businesses in their decision-making process. We typically find that a company has a life cycle, or a season, if you will. And in that life cycle, you may just be starting out. You're brand new, you got a business card, you're handing it out to your friends and neighbors and say, please give me referrals. You may be in business and beat the I'm going out of business pressure, and you've just gotten past that mark of, I got this, I'm gonna make it. And you have business, you have predictable income, and you're at a point that you know you're gonna keep your doors open and you don't have to have phone calls. And then the third phase of the life cycle of a business is you're mature. You're in business, you got this, you really know, and you may have different goals for your business, but you're pretty solid. You know what's going on and you have the income. So we've named our process, we've named our process after TV shows. Survivor, because you gotta have those phone calls to survive. Lost, meaning your business is solid, your brick and mortar is solid, but you pretty much are lost online. And then the third is quantum leap. You're ready to go to the next level. So when you're in these life cycle, when you're in the survivor method and you have to have phone calls in order to make your door stay open, in order to make payroll, traditionally we find that these 3 product cycles work the best. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way. It doesn't mean that it's the only thing you should do. It just means that these are recommendations we typically make. And all of this is customized based on what your actual individual needs are based in this process of decision. So email marketing, I always recommend capitalizing on your own email base. If you're not using some type of email marketing, you must begin an email marketing process soon. The second set is pay-per-click. Nothing generates faster return on investment than pay-per-click. And when I say that, I put a caveat with most industries. There are some industries that it just, for whatever reason, doesn't work so great for, but generally speaking, pay-per-click is, and pay-per-click are the ads that are now at the top of the screen and at the bottom of the screen, and they have the word ad right above them. And those typically tend to work best, and there's a science and a method to how to make it work. The third, immediate direct, we call it direct response. And the reason we call it direct response is you send out an offer, you expect a direct response to happen. It's not branding, it's not awareness, it is you want a call to action on it. You want to be able to put $50 off, 20% off, and expect somebody to call and make a buying decision. The third product in that offering that is typical is social media. And social media, I only recommend if you are a live out loud kind of person. If you don't mind talking to all your friends and neighbors, then social media is for you. If you don't log onto a computer or log onto your phone and you're not engaging and live out loud, I don't recommend it unless you want to become that way, because nothing is worse than starting to create an audience and starting to create a base and then turning your back on that base and saying nothing. It's equivalent to getting a phone call in your office and not answering it. So only use social media as a direct response if you have intent to be engaging and outgoing with it. Otherwise, I almost never recommend this product for probably 75% of our business owners that are 40 plus, and it just has to do with most people aren't comfortable. It's not the way that they grew their business, so they're not comfortable with it. If you are that demographic, we definitely recommend it. Second strategy is lost. The big joke on the internet is, you know where the dead bodies were found? On page 2. In your business, that's really where they are. That's really where the dead bodies are, because nobody's going to page 2. How many have done a search and went, oh, I'm just going to keep looking? You don't. You refine your search, and that's what consumers all across do. Your consumers really aren't that different than you. However you use online, however you engage online, that's pretty much how your consumer is engaging it as well. And so in this life cycle, it means that you have sustainable revenue. You don't need a direct, immediate reaction in order to keep your doors open. And in that case, your life cycle might be that you're not really looking to grow. You just kind of want to say where you're at, and you want to make sure that you don't lose business to competitors. Then we recommend search engine optimization and a reviews strategy, a strategy to generate reviews, because you have you're a little more advanced in your business process. You're a little more fluid in what you're looking for. And based on budget tends to be the refinement in what we actually recommend in this section. But it really is about search engine optimization and how to be found on page 1 if somebody looks for compounding pharmacy, and how to be there immediately in that search. And so those are the product offerings that we offer in that business life cycle. The third business life cycle is, you've probably been in business a while, you have a solid marketing budget, you've been at business and you have sustainable income, you kind of know what you're doing. We say take the quantum leap. If your business goal is to grow and scale, then take the quantum leap. Do it all. Jump into email marketing, pay-per-click, search engine optimization, reviews, social media. Now, are there others that you can add into it? Absolutely, there are others. But keep in mind, the reason that people don't take action and don't move forward is because it's overwhelming to think about each one of these products. Each one of these products has a success strategy. Each one of these products has a means and takes effort in order to fully develop them, to make them work like they're supposed to work. And I'm guessing, just like me, you guys are time crushed. You just don't, or time starved. You just don't have a lot of extra dispensable time. And so that's why I always recommend start with one product, make it successful, be a hero in that product. Once you develop that strategy and you win at it, you move to the next strategy. So the reason that companies are so time-starved is you're pulled in so many different directions. And part of that direction comes from preparedness. And we talked about that earlier this morning, about how this gentleman was prepared. And he was able to capitalize on opportunity. So I want to take a minute and tell you a story about how bad marketing killed people on the Titanic. And I say this with sincerity because the truth is, White Star Lines made a conscious decision to not put lifeboats on the Titanic. And the reason was they were all happy. They created the indestructible boat, a ship that would last all times and would be the flagship. It was state of the art. And if that boat is not sinkable, why do I need a lifeboat? I don't need lifeboats. And then the newspaper calls and they say, hey, we're going to come and take pictures. Well, if you're White Star Lines, you're like, yeah, rock on. I want to give you the best possible view of my boat that I can give you. So let's take these ugly little things off the side, right? Because we don't need those. They compounded the problem by not training their staff. Because if nobody has to jump off the boat all at one time, then I don't need a staff that's trained to do that, right? So it's not forward thinking. And that captain and that company had other people that they didn't take into account. And I'm here to tell you that you're the captain of your ship. At least 70% of the room isn't tracking their marketing. You're not keeping up with what's going on in your marketing, what's happening online. So like the captain of the Titanic, you're looking at the iceberg. You're looking at the thing over the water. You're looking at 10% of the budget. You're looking at the budget, and that's 10% of what you're looking at. You got to look at what you don't see under the water. And that is what we call the MAC approach. Measure, analyze, cut the crap. And so if you're marketing right now, look below the waterline, and the only way that you can look below the waterline is to put a metered phone number on your ads, to put call to actions that are trackable and traceable, and so that you can have a conversion metrics. And then once you get those numbers, then you analyze them and understand what they mean. That captain saw the iceberg, but he didn't see what was going on under the iceberg. He didn't see what happened beneath the surface. And so when you understand what's going on and you're able to see that your cost per lead is costing you $20 for a $10 project, for a $10 return on investment, you've got a problem. And your business is gonna sink. But by measuring it, analyzing it, and then cutting the bad stuff, you're now able to really make better decisions. And it's decisions that start with the keyword. And there's lots of ways to get that keyword. There's lots of tools out there, and there's a lot of strategies that you can use. The strategy that we use is the highest searched keyword in your industry with the lowest amount of competition. And once you're able to, and that's for search engine optimization. And once you're able to get that keyword on page one, then you go for the big money keyword, the keyword where the competition is, that has high search volume. And I'll tell you one other thing. A lot of times what happens when you're looking for keyword, you're in the industry, you're close to the industry, and you know that industry inside and out. So because you're a plumber, you think plumbing company is the biggest keyword. Typically, it's not the biggest keyword. The biggest keyword is generally built around how somebody when they call your office, the terms that they use when they're talking to you. They're generally, people search how they speak. So keywords are typically a problem. If you solve people's problem and you're found while they're looking for the answer to that problem, your marketing will skyrocket. Your marketing will grow. So we believe in measure twice, cut once. The scale of successful marketing comes down to being prepared and being able to capitalize when that opportunity comes and when that opportunity happens, and creating that opportunity replicated to be able to scale it and grow it and add products as you're going. Now, this isn't necessarily getting into the product specifics that we went through with Google, but we went through the products, and each of those products are the products that we found actually work for different clients. Every client is different, every business is different, every business has different needs, so only you can create the ruler or the measuring stick for success. Only you. Only you can say, I want my marketing to generate X amount of dollars, or I want X amount of white paper downloads, or I want X amount of phone calls. Start with your end in mind. Understand what you want your marketing to do based on the budget that you currently have or that you're willing to spend. And when you start with the end in mind, you circle it back around to the keyword, you build all of your marketing messages, all of your branding into that particular keyword, and that's how your business grows and scales, and that's how you take each one of these products and you grow each product. I can't take the time to go through and say, these are the strategies for pay-per-click, these are the strategies for SEO, these are the strategies for, because each one of those topics is a class in and of itself. But you have the decision tree that says, I need phone calls to make my business work right this minute. You know your product offerings are going to be email, pay-per-click, or social media, or a combination of the three. And then throw in some traditional advertising and even some guerrilla advertising to make it happen. I'm a big believer in partnering and partnerships. So if you're an attorney, come out of the box and think about putting a flyer in an accountant's invoicing mechanism. So there's lots of ways to generate phone calls. It's just, how do you want to do it? And you can't build a class around everybody's individual needs. So it's coming up with your individual goal, with your individual measurement for success. So that's the presentation. Before you guys go, though, we have one other opportunity, and that is, it's one more chance for preparedness to meet opportunity to end up with some success. And that is, in front of you, you have a blue and gold survey form. If you will take the time to fill that out, we are giving away 3 Google swag bags and a $50 gift card, American Express gift card. Well, actually, if you'll just pass them to the ends, if you'll just pass them to pass your surveys to the ends, and while you're filling them out, I'll take questions, because there's a lot of information. Yes, ma'am? This is a swag bag, by the way. There's like a cool water bottle with Google branding.
I got a question. I work for an orthodontist doing some marketing, and you're working with the guy in this online out of California to do Google stuff. It's like I'm going through a middleman. Is that someone that I can talk directly to Google, or is it all I get is help in the
Yeah, there's some online forums and there's some online chats, but I'll tell you that getting an entry point is not necessarily an easy piece. If you'll tell me what your specific problem is after the class, I'll see if I can't get you some direction into specific. And the reason is, if you think about it, there's probably over 1 million Google employees. So they're a fairly large organization. So, but if you tell me what your problem is, I might be able to find a way to help you with it.
Where did you get started on Google AdWords? Where did you get started on that?
Well, we're a Google certified partner, so we can help you with any of your AdWords needs or any of your search engine optimization needs. You can go in through google.com/AdWords and do a self-start, but I'll tell you that more times than not, we see a lot of wasted expenditure that could be avoided, because there's a lot of things you have to know about Google AdWords in order to effectively get your budget the right way. And so, and you know what? I believe HCC has, I think you guys put your business cards in as well for a drawing from HCC, and I'll keep answering questions, but I'll turn the floor over to Jeremy.
Okay, so we want to give away a nice drawing we have in here. And it's an executive portfolio, and then we have a tumbler. You have a business card holder, a pen, and also we have a nice magnifying glass for you. So,
Talk about opportunity.
City office supply, Michael McCain. All right. Yeah.
All right, there is a question in the back.
Yes. I was just wondering, I've been receiving a number of calls of late, people calling saying they're from Google about the promotion. I'm just wondering, is it something genuine or what?
So the question is, he's getting phone calls with people saying he's Google, they're Google. The other phone call that you'll typically get is, we've noticed a problem with your Google Maps. Google does not make outbound phone calls. So anybody calling to represent themselves as Google is not Google. So you should probably not engage in that conversation because it is a waste of time. Because what they're trying to do, it's typically one of those people we talked about earlier, it's a freelancer most of the time, or it's a call bank trying to get you in a boiler room scenario. So, yeah, Google does not make outbound calls. Yes, sir?
Okay, I always try to know, we work with big companies which are like IBM, or let's say I'm a mechanic for a BMW car. However, Google doesn't allow you to put a keyword that you are a specialist in BMW car. How can you help me and say I'm a specialist, but I'm a specialist in repairing BMW?
Yeah, so Google has some rules about trademark infringements, and so honestly, a workaround, and I don't know if it would really work or not, is if you could get a specific BMW dealership to allow you to work under their name and send that to Google, then you may have some opportunity to be able to marry that company name plus BMW and show up in an obscure kind of search. But there's some ways that you can do AdWords to make it work and pick up some broad general sense. But Google's very sincere and very upfront about the ability to not have trademark infringements. So while we're answering questions, we'll do some drawings real quick and see who gets these cool swag bags. Yes, sir?
We watch our keywords a lot, and like in our business with Office Supplies Houston, Office Products Houston, where might we find other keywords that people are looking for within, say, our specific industry?
There's a couple of tools out. One tool, obviously, are you using AdWord Planner?
We do AdWords Express.
Okay. Oh, get out of AdWords Express quick. You're wasting money. Seriously. Seriously, AdWords Express has got to go. It's the death of your business. It's okay, maybe not the death of your business, but definitely the death of your budget. It's, yeah, AdWords Express typically is, you want out of that one as fast as you can. But to answer your question, AdWord Planner, google.com/AdWords is where you want to go to do true search ads. And then there's a couple of tools. There's a couple of tools that we use. A couple are fairly expensive, but Spyfu, SPYFU.com, is a great keyword tool, research tool that will allow you to pull your competitors' search keywords and give you kind of a good baseline for other people. Yes, ma'am?
Do any of those programs you just talk about have hashtags? So you can find the most popular hashtag, that's something that.
So keep in mind, we talked about general products. You might find some hashtags. They're not my products, so they're not Google's products. So you'll find just individual people's hashtags on them. So,
That's not what I mean.
Okay.
You need to search the most popular hashtags, just like keywords.
oh. You know, I read an industry article the other day. There is a tool for popular hashtags. I don't remember what it is because it's not really my specialty as much. But I do recall seeing that there's kind of a tool that's in beta. I'll see if you give me your email, I'll see if I can find that article and I'll forward that article to you. It's kind of my specialty. Okay, so the first winner in the Google swag bag is Wesley Johnson. Who's Wesley? Perfect. All right, there was another question I saw somewhere up front. Any other questions? Yes.
I had two questions.
Okay.
One, you made a comment about pay-per-click not working for certain industries. Do you know which verticals or industries specifically?
Insurance are awful. And the reason is you have really large companies that you're competing against, and the cost per click is out of control. So the cost that it costs is so expensive. There's a few others. I'd have to kind of like go back and think about it, but insurance comes to mind. Legal and locksmiths has every time you see an algorithm change in the news, every time you hear of an algorithm change, it's because some strategist has figured out how to exploit the search engine, and they're writing a new algorithm to level the playing field. And so locksmith's definitely a tough one. Legal is a tough one. Doctors can be a tough one, just depending. Medical can be a tough one. But insurance is my least favorite ever. Sorry if you're in the industry, it's just super expensive. Okay, next winner is, I'm gonna say this wrong, Steverson. Eagle Steverson? Oh, sorry. I'm struggling with new glasses today, so. All right, and any other questions? Yes.
So whenever you're on the Google search results page and say my company comes up, I know for our company specifically, it shows up as our business being a telecommunications company when we do two-way radio. So it's within the industry, it's a kind of a big difference to consumers, might not be the same. Is there a way to change that? Because I know that they attempted to do it and we couldn't do anything like two-way radios or anything along those lines. So is there a way to have...
Are you specifically talking about maps, or are you specifically talking about organic or pay-per-click?
Maps.
Maps, okay. Maps is a tough one. And the reason Maps is a tough one is because Google has preset industries that they will allow you to select. If you're not in that, you pretty much don't get it, and you've got to pick the thing that is the best. The way that you pick it up, though, is in your description. Put the keyword that you want in the first couple of words, and that will help. It's not the end-all, be-all, win-all, but it will help. And if you can slightly alter your name to throw that keyword at the end of it, that helps too.
As you include it in your pictures, when you're uploading photos, take your title, and your description, add what you're actually doing, it'll start up.
So, yes, ma'am.
How can you organically get below those 3 ads?
Between the 3 ads. So the way that the search result page is set up is the three ads, the maps. Sometimes you'll have one organic in between the ads and the map. They were playing with some stuff. And then you have the organic under the maps. That's where we call search engine optimization. Search engine optimization, there is no silver bullet. If somebody calls you up and guarantees you that they can get you on page 1, run. And the reason is they don't own Google. They can't promise you what they don't own. And so our advice to you is it's good old-fashioned hard work, roll up your sleeves. There's over 1,000 different things that are documented to work for good SEO. If you're working with a good SEO strategist in a good company, they will have a proven system, and they'll be able to show you success stories and examples of other companies that they got on page one. It's doable. It's a formula. It's just good old-fashioned hard work, picking those right 1,000. Do we have the third one? Do I have it? You have it.
Maria?
Woo! Google swag. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. I'll be right.
I was expecting this Google class that I was not think about this like when I type it and just pop up. I was not expected like that. I expected whenever we search on the Google and then pop up some small cookies on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
This do you have Google? I expected.
A cougar?
No, Google, on the corner sometimes.
So like an ad to the side.
Yes.
Oh.
Like on the page pops she's interested in.
Oh, yeah, that's called Google AdSense. That's Google AdSense, and you can insert that in your website. If your site's generating enough traffic, Google will pay you for that traffic. So that's what that is. If you have highly targeted, let's say that I'm a race car mechanic, I can insert my race car ad into race type sites. And when I do that, that gives me a better opportunity to meet people that are in my specific segment that might have more interest in doing business with me. So Google AdSense is a good place to advertise, and it's a good place to generate income if you have an audience that's generating a lot of traffic. And there's one other question in the back somewhere. Yes, sir.
So on the search results page, when you see that little ad icon up next to the top 3 or so, I was told a couple years ago, don't click on that because it causes problems. So
It costs that person money.
I'm sorry?
It costs that person money. So when you click on that,
There's no like malware or anything
No.
associated with it?
no, it just costs that person $5, $10, $50, depending on the industry that.
That is your pay-per-click then?
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct. So
This is way back. This is for the.
okay. All right, so one more for the Google swag is Anthony Batista.
Your last question? He left.
He left.
Okay. Well,
Oh, you gotta be, gotta be present. All right, and the $50 gift card that is opportunity, when preparedness meets opportunity equals success, $50 is Shanrika Slater.
What?
Yes? Woo-hoo! All right, there was one other question. Who had one other question? Any other questions? No other questions? Jose? Awesome. All right. All right, so thank you guys for coming. 2 quick things. If you're in any type of networking group, I do public speaking open for almost any topic related to online. And the other thing is, don't forget you've got a card on your table. If you'd like this slide deck, and if you'd like a free business assessment, you can go to measurablemarketing.com, type in your URL, type in the keyword that you want to show up for, you'll get an automatic report for your website assessment. So, and there's a card on your table given the address. Thank you guys for coming.